Celebrity Sleaze right now brought to you by McDonald's. Archways to Opportunity helps employees achieve their dreams. To learn more, visit McDonald's.com.
You know, all that talk about Top Gun and maybe another Top Gun movie, I started thinking, is Miles Teller going to be back? Because I love him. But he just signed on to star in a Paramount Pictures upcoming film called Winter Games, exploring the intense world of the Winter Olympic Games. This is going to focus on the connection between an overlooked skier and a quote-unquote self-sabotaging hockey legend. They confront personal challenges. I'm all about this, and it's all set against the backdrop of the Olympic Village. You know, that reminded me of, remember when we were at the other Olympic Village.
So this is a real story, or this is a movie?
It's a movie. It's a movie with Miles Teller.
But, okay, not a documentary. Like, the way you were saying it, I was like, oh, wow, real people? How'd they film that?
Yeah, I know. And then I saw this thing about... Barnes, let me ask you a question. What do you do on your typical day off? I mean, seriously, because I know you work really hard.
Work? Usually on other things that aren't like work related, but other type of work, like fun work.
Maybe you have something in common with Tom Cruise, because this is what Cruise does on his day off.
Serious question. What does a day off look like for Tom Cruise?
You know, I'll go climb a cliff and jump off it. When I have a day off, it's like, this is what I do. You know, I'm usually training, or I'll go speed flying, you know, in a parachute, or go get my airplane that I haven't been able to fly and do some aerobatics, you know.
This is you. That's is just
me.
You. Yeah.
This is just me. I look at buildings, I'm like, I could climb that, you know. I could climb that. That'd be fun. I could jump off that, you know. And we're always working on the next movie. I'm always thinking about the next film and the next adventures that we have. And it's a real privilege to be here.
I can't believe he hasn't been seriously injured before with all these crazy stunts.
Yeah, sounds like he just is a workaholic also, just nonstop.
Okay, remember the other day you were talking about how he was ambushed on the red carpet about Father's Day and he completely glazed over?
Yeah.
Because he's got kids, right? Well, I mean, he hasn't seen Surrey in over 10 years, but I found that audio from the red carpet.
Oh, you did?
Yes, check this out. Being ambushed on the red carpet.
Dude, that was uncomfy.
Father's Day is just around the corner. What would an ideal Father's Day look like for you?
Hey, you know, just having fun, man. Making movies, big adventure, having a great time.
Okay, that was awkward.
Well, I mean...
What's Father's Day look like to you? You know. He
was ready for that. I love this story. The White Lotus creator, Mike White, will compete on CBS's Survivor 50. He's going to be among 24 returning players to compete on the show's milestone 50th anniversary. Because you remember, he competed in 2018, came in second. He is obsessed with this show, Barnes. Here's his quote. Survivor is the only show I really devoutly watch, even though I get frustrated with it. I know he loves to really compare and do a deep dive on the characters, but Jeff Probst is weighing in. He believes back in the day, White could have won the original series.
Mike White, I mean, he actually, Mike, after he finished playing, said, I want to play again. And that was before White Lotus. And then White Lotus hit, and I thought, well, he'll never play again. But he kept texting and saying, look, I'm serious. If you ever do anything where you have returning players, I want to play again. So we're happy to have Mike back. And I thought he was going to win the game. And I felt like he sabotaged it a little bit in this sense. I think Mike wanted to prove to himself that he could win. And when he did, I think he gave it away. Think about it this way. This is the guy that writes and directs White Lotus, which studies human behavior in the most fascinating way. He gets Survivor, and I'm really excited to have him back. He was one of the most exciting players that said yes to us.
That's amazing that he's coming back, and you're seeing people like Jenna from the first season, Colby. Like, this is a unbelievable corral, but the best video on the internet is all the people that didn't get chosen. Man, they are sounding off all over the place. Bitter.
And doesn't he bring people from Survivor onto his shows?
Who?
Mike White. Like they make guest appearances, don't they, in a lot of his shows like The White Lotus?
I think a few of them have.
Yeah, it's interesting. I read that. Okay, did you see the $1 billion deal that Hailey Bieber just got?
No. For what?
Hailey Bieber, of course the wife of Justin Bieber, strikes a $1 billion deal to sell her lifestyle brand, Rhode, to ELF Beauty. The deal is comprised of a $600 million cash payment $200 million in shares of Elf stock to Rhodes' existing equity holders, and a $200 million earnout that would be payable over 3 years.
Damn, $1 billion?
Why don't we have a product that somebody can come buy for $1 billion?
Well, Fram, I do have some oil. I don't know if it's $1 billion.
Dude, you have oil. Come on.
But in a week where you hear about her $1 billion deal, she also had that TMZ thing drop about Bieber, and that thing is everywhere, about his self-destruction. Big week.
Yeah, I know. That's why he wants to sell his music catalog.
For cheap, comparatively.
I mean, is he in debt? It's hard to believe he would be in debt, but who knows?
Well, someone said that he was playing golf. This is hearsay. I heard it on some show. I think it was on TMZ. That he was golfing with someone and he had to borrow to pay. Like that he couldn't pay the green fee.
Okay, I talked about this the other day. A new report is claiming that Hugh Jackman is disappointed and blindsided by his ex's comments, Deborah Lee Furness, because, you know, they made that announcement together, but now she is coming out and hitting strong. Part of her statement, my heart and compassion goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal. It is a profound wound that cuts deep. However, I believe in a higher power. It can hurt, but in the long run, returning to yourself and living within your own integrity, values, and boundaries is liberation and freedom. So she basically came out calling it a profound betrayal. Oops. I told you about that Beatles sort of docuseries in the works, right?
Which one?
Yeah, Barry Keoghan is going to play Ringo Starr.
Oh, yeah. I did.
He's been in Beatles boot camp for like 17 weeks, practicing how Ringo walks, talks, plays drums. I mean, I guess he's going back. You have to go back and you can look at all the Beatles movies, right? He actually met Ringo and kind of gained insight into Ringo's life and experiences. This is the one that Sam Mendes is directing. The other actors also playing along are Paul Mescal, Joseph Quinn, and Harris Dickinson. I think this is going to be incredible. And he kind of looks like Ringo. And
depending on what week's it is on, Zach Starkey, if he's on or off with The Who that week, he could maybe be a coach. I mean, that'd be a great way to do it also.
That is your Celebrity Sleaze.
Nightly Scroll with Hailey Bieber.
It is Hailey Bieber. I'm excited to be here because there's a lot to scroll through on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, on Truth Social. Love seeing you all in the chat before the show. I tried to jump in just a few minutes before to say hello. I love the chat interaction. Thank you for helping. Love all my homies that I get to scroll with. If you want to listen, Nightly Scroll with Hailey is where you can find me. Just search that up and I will be there. We've got to spread the word far and wide.
Nightly Scroll with Hailey Bieber. Follow and listen on your favorite platform.